Hey everybody, it's Michael with Chicago 3 Media. Today is a special day. My name is Michael Gutierrez with 606 Brokers. As a native Chicagoan, I think I know a thing or two about what makes the city of broad shoulders so inviting to everyone. A community within communities, 77 to be exact. And as a realtor, I've met folks from all walks of life, and nothing fascinates me more than the people of the city and their stories. If you know anything about Chicago history, you know that it's known for its great food, best sports town, the amazing architecture, and of course, the mob. Meet Frank Calabrese Jr.
Our family business was different.
Sure.
It was organized crime.
Sure.
That's what this is about. It's about what this life does to your family. But in this life, you don't go and sign up at a corner office with a handbook and an app form, right? They find you. Because in Chicago, unlike New York, you weren't supposed to bring your kids into the life. You were supposed to make a better life for your kids.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah. When I decided to have to go against my dad and wear a wire in prison, to wear a wire in prison is very, very dangerous.
Sure.
A metal box, a jock strap, and these wires that looked like a set of Christmas lights. So my whole shirt underneath was all wired up. So he went to lift the shirt because he wanted to see the tattoo I just got in prison.
Oh my gosh.
And so you can imagine what was going through my mind at that point. I'm out on the prison yard, I'm alone. Okay, they're not monitoring me, they can't because of the concrete in the prison. The danger level was so high. Who would be crazy enough to wear a wire in a federal prison? Anybody sees it, everybody will jump on you and you're dead. So the FBI used to sit and wait for either me to come back to the office hours later so they could take the wire off, or wait to hear the prison alarm go off and I was dead on the yard.
And I'm sure that crossed your mind, Frank.
No, I learned from my father. He was a very smart guy on the street, and he always taught me, task at hand, prepare for what you have to do. Don't ever think about what could happen. When you start doing that, that's when things do happen.
That's when their anxiety starts kicking in and
just
starts
do
telling
what
you what to do.
You be prepared to do what you got to do, and that's what I did. I thought right away, and I said, Dad, the guard's right there. If I show him the tattoo, I'm going to the hole. I go to the hole, I'm not going to be in commissary no more. I can't get you all the great fruit, the vegetables, the good clothes. I'll show you later. He said, okay. It wasn't until I walked away when I started realizing, oh man, this is how close it was. And it's your father too. I loved my father unconditionally, still do to this day. But where do you draw that line when it comes to your life, to your freedom, to your family? Where do you draw that line?
One thing that actually made me laugh, because it kind of brought back that family unity, was when your dad would take you in the bathroom when he has to tell you important things. He would turn on the fan, he would turn on all the water faucets, and then he would tell you what he needed to tell you.
He actually took me in that bathroom that day to tell me that he was a stone-blooded killer and that there's rules on the street. You break those rules, you lose your life. Now you gotta remember, my dad, his intentions weren't to bring me into this life. His intentions were, as I was younger, to teach me about the street. And at that point, I believed in my dad. I didn't believe in the mob or anything like that. I believed in family. My dad says this is the way the street is. This is the way the street is. Those guys should have paid attention to the rules. And I know that I need to follow the rules too. Now this house right here, my house that I grew up, I'm gonna tell you, there's a day that I'll never forget in my life, and I use it every single day. It was the day that I knew I was going down to court because I was gonna violate. Okay, I was trying to get this drug program. One of the mistakes I made in my life was fooling around with powder cocaine, selling it. In order to get this program, I had to violate. I had to come clean with my drug program. The morning I got up, I knew that I was going to jail that day, and I knew I wouldn't be home for anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Well, I was concerned because I didn't know what I was being arrested for. I just started messing around with powder cocaine, and I'm working for my dad, so I'm not sure why they're here. And I'm thinking, if it's powder cocaine that I'm getting arrested for drugs,
Sure.
I'm a dead man, because that was a no-no in the mob in Chicago.
Sure.
My wife turns the corner at the top of the stairs with a robe. What's going on? Who are all these coppers here? Who are these people with guns and everything? I'm like, honey, it's fine. Just go back to bed. It's only FBI here to arrest me for an old mob case. She's
It's
like, what?
only the FBI.
So,
It's
well,
only
because
the
I was
FBI.
so relieved that it wasn't DEA, that how crazy it was. Now I'm going down the stairs to leave, and who's in the foyer? My 2 little kids. And I give them a kiss, and I tell them I love them. My little daughter says, Daddy, is everything okay? Something doesn't seem right. He says, Angel, everything will be fine. When I walked out that door, I had tears rolling down my face. Okay, it was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. My grandmother's around the corner crying, okay, because she knew what was going on.
Yeah.
I used that every day to remember, to process, never to do anything stupid or stuff I did before because of my kids. Like I said, that was suffering.
I saw two sides to my dad. And so when I saw that you wrote, Frank, that there was days that you saw your dad as this loving, compassionate man, but then you would leave the room and he turned into somebody totally different. And I think that's what towards the end.
My dad was a stone-blooded sociopathic killer, one of his personalities. His preferred method or signature trait
Don't tell me the Calabrese necktie.
derived from the Sicilian necktie where they take your tongue out too. So my dad would change even though he was my dad. Sometimes I did not know who I was dealing with, and sometimes he treats you like people on the street. So, it came to a point where you weren't safe just because you were a family member anymore. He started becoming more controlling, more paranoid, faster with his hands with family members. And everybody in the family seen it, not just me. But there was only one man that I ever feared in life, and that was my dad. As much as I respected him and loved him, I also feared him.
Your story definitely it encourages a lot of people, including myself, like I said, growing up fatherless and seeing people like yourself come out alive and well, and to be able to share the rest of your life with your family, your daughters, that's huge.
Oh yeah,
Frank.
I got a second chance at life, and I cherish it every day.
This episode is sponsored by the insurance office of Augie LeCapra. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, Augie knows the important things matter to you. Be sure to contact him today.
Now my book, to make sure it was authentic, we actually handed it to the FBI, the government, to go through it for credibility. And when Random House called to see where it was, I told them that we had the FBI looking at it. They got mad at first. They said, they're never going to sign off on this. Well, they did sign off on it. The Blasio family, I know them all very well. Dr. Pat was my dentist. Michael, his brother, hung around with my dad and my uncle. Tony and my dad grew up together, and they had a mutual respect for one another. When I heard from my dad and my uncle that they were going to kill Tony, and the only way they can get Tony is to kill Michael, who was innocent. In the Casino movie, their facts were wrong.
Well, there's a few guys in the movie that are killing these two guys. Is that wrong?
So what had happened was, in the movie they show that they got killed in the cornfield. That's not what happened.
All this time I've been watching Casino and waiting for the cornfield, and you're telling me it was...
So they were killed in the basement in Bensenville. They were supposed to be picked up in a parking lot, hotel parking lot out towards the airport, and they were going to be brought to this basement. And waiting in the basement was probably roughly around 13 MAID members with some bosses of the Chicago mob, waiting for them to come there and kill them. When they got to the bottom of the stairs, they got jumped by everybody and killed.
Wow.
Their bodies were then brought out to a cornfield in Indiana.
Do you think, Frank, that season, let's say, was about the time where it started
Well, it was in
breaking apart?
1986, and one thing after another was happening. But I brought you a book today, Mike.
Yes, I get my
so
own
this way
book.
you can write it.
Getting my own personalized book. Look at that.
Welcome to the
Autograph.
family.
Whoa, I'm scared now. Forget about it.
So your first payment's due.
Oh, my first payment's due.